today is Richard Brewer. Richard's speech is titled, "What Seeds Are You Sowing?" It's a non-manual 5 to 7 minute speech. Richard's last couple of months have been packed, recently getting back from a river cruise in Europe in April and finishing one of the biggest projects his company has ever done. Richard's here to share what he has learned along the Rhine and Usel rivers. Please welcome Richard Brewer with "What Seeds Are You Sowing?"
Good morning. It's been a while since I've been up here, man.
Yeah.
As Tim alluded in my intro, last couple months have been just jam-packed, and in April, I hopped on a plane, landed in Paris, France. Didn't know where I was going to stay at for a couple days, and I was just going to wing it. So I'm going through the airport, and I'm thinking I'll just, I'll go to my hotel that everybody's staying at in 2 or 3 days, and I'll just see what's happening. And I'm going through the airport, and this guy just pops in front of me and says, "The roads are extremely, extremely busy this morning. I can get you where you going fast." So I'm like, "All right, what do you got?" He goes, "I got a motorcycle." I've got a backpack with my laptop on it and a suitcase. I'm like, going, "What about all?" He goes, "No problem, no problem." So my first experience in Europe was on the back of a motorcycle, going to the hotel. Now I travel with typically my cruises and stuff and things that I travel with. I typically travel with about 200 to 400 real estate investors and entrepreneurs. So sometimes it's not about it's not about where you're going, but it's who you're with. And being in Europe, we spent 4 or 5 days in Paris. We went up to Arnhem, Netherlands, hopped on a boat to get on the Rhine River, and went up and down the Rhine and the Mosel. And about 11 days later, we jumped off at Amsterdam. Now, I could tell you about the Louvre. I could tell you about the palaces, the wine. Oh, the wine. I was really surprised at how well the Germans make honey whiskey, because that's one of my fetishes right now is honey whiskey. The schnitzel, the apple strudel. I think I gained 10 pounds while I was abroad. But all that being said, the most profound effect or the most profound impact was not where I was at, it was who I was with. And every time I go on a cruise or a trip with, I call them my people or my homies, I meet somebody new. I meet somebody that I get to know a lot better. Today I'm going to talk about Bob Zagmeyer. We call him Bob Z for short. I've known Bob for 2 or 3 years, but I really haven't known him very much. And as we're traveling up and down Germany, hitting shops, I learned a lot about him and his wife, Camille, and what their passions are. And his 4 biggest passions are real estate, seller financing real estate, business, and charity. Bob has a goal of giving $1 million away to Make-A-Wish Foundation. I said $1 million. He made this goal when he was 50. He's 57 now, and to date, he's given $400,000. That got my wheels turning. It got my attention. So much in the fact that I got a journal, and I started asking questions about it. First question was, why, Bob? What caused you to go in this direction? And he goes, why not? Why not you? Why not anybody on this boat? If I can do it, you can do it. If you can do it, somebody else can do it. I had no comeback to that. He was right. He picked the Make-A-Wish Foundation because he has a soft spot for kids, because him and his wife have no kids. So he has a soft spot. That's why he picked it. Asking him how he did this, what was his method, and he told me, he said, people, they underestimate what they can do in 10 years. and they overestimate what they can do in 1 or 2 years. And he's right. Tony Robbins has that philosophy as well. So, thinking back to my speeches in Toastmasters, I've given speeches before about small things. It's inch by inch is a cinch, and yard by yard is hard. Bob speaks throughout the country on seller finance, real estate, and every time he speaks, he gives a little piece away to make a wish. Every transaction he does, he peels away a little. Every once in a while, he'll do a fundraiser. His first fundraiser he did when he was 50 was his birthday party. $50,000 to get it started. The next thing I ask him is, what did it do to you? How did it affect you personally and financially and spiritually? And he told me, he goes, it's really crazy that when I hit 50 and I hit that, I made that goal. He said, the more I gave away, the more I got. When I went to a giving mentality, I received a lot more in every area of my life. My marriage got better. I made more money. My business got better. So as I wrap up today, I just look into the room here. We have 30 people. What would our community look like if we each gave $1 million away? $30 million. Think about that for a minute. What would that look like in your community? My last question is, what would it do to you? It's probably the most profound question. What would it do to your kids? What kind of seeds would you sow in your kids, your family, your friends? How would you change their worlds? Thank you.